Hi again then guys, and welcome to episode 28 of Quattroporte, the review series for the sports saloons and obviously super saloons of Gran Turismo 6. And in this particular episode we're featuring a variant of the Subaru Impreza. We will be reviewing a few different versions of the Impreza, of the Evo, of the Legacy, etc. But this version is one of the most unique of the Imprezas, I would say. It's the Prodrive style Impreza. And I would actually say this is probably one of my personal preferred Imprezas on Gran Turismo, because although the performance isn't necessarily any better than many of the other Imprezas, it has kind of an air to it, an air of exclusivity. It feels a little bit more rare, a little bit more special, due to the subtly reworked visuals that Prodrive have given it. But apart from the looks, what does it have to offer? Because the Impreza is known for being a very good performance car along with the Evo, so what does this particular model have to offer? Well, basically all the usual good stuff that you'd expect from an Impreza WRX STi. The all-wheel drive, giving it smooth, easy to control handling that's very beginner friendly, more so, as I've said before, in my opinion at least, than the Evo, and great value for money, which is pretty much a synonymous thing with Japanese performance cars. They are pretty much always great value. Now the price on this particular model is pretty cheap, especially considering it does have the special styling pack among other changes at 31,000 credits. So the value is very good. Now, of course, it's not a premium model, which is a shame, but still the performance doesn't change. It's still an excellent car. The 2-litre Boxer 4 turbo engine puts out a fraction over 550 horsepower, 448 foot-pounds of torque, and interestingly, weighs exactly the same as the last Legacy wagon, which we reviewed in the Party in the Back series, funnily enough, at 1171 kilos. Now it puts out 471 horsepower per tonne, which doesn't sound that amazing, but that's pretty decent considering the power that it has to begin with, and that such power is no way near as much as, say, an E55 or a Charger, etc. So the fact that the car has less power to begin with means it kind of starts off on a disadvantage. But being an Impreza, even with a seeming disadvantage in power, it still more than makes up for it in sheer drivability and handling. Now, on the dirt track, obviously it's a fantastic car. It's an Impreza. It's never going to be anything but a fantastic rally car. But on the road, how does it compare? Well, this goes for most of the Imprezas and also to some extent the Evos that will be reviewed in this series. But it's an excellent car when you choose it under the right circumstances. Now, one of the great things about the Impreza, and one of the things which I would say is actually slightly better about the Impreza than the Evo, is how many tracks it's competitive on. Now, there are tracks where I would not recommend using it, of course, such as the Le Mans. It's just not the best of cars for that track. Or perhaps Monza. But apart from those two, and obviously Special Stage Route X, there aren't many tracks which is not a good car on. And the reason why I say slightly more so with the Impreza than the Evo is because, just like in real life, where the Evo is not quite as strong top end as the Impreza, likewise on the game, the Impreza is a stronger all-round straight-line performance machine. Now the top speeds are fairly similar, but the Impreza definitely gets there with more shove. And the Impreza feels more powerful from the ones that I've driven. Now, they're very similar when it comes to power, but the Impreza feels like a more thumpy, ready-to-go kind of car. And that is in part due to the Boxer engine, which is completely unique compared to the inline 4 of the Evo. It gives the car completely different characteristics, and that's one of the reasons why people love Imprezas so much, for that engine. Overall, this is an excellent choice of Impreza. I know some people don't like this generation as much because of the kind of bug-eyed headlights. Personally, I think it's a pretty decent looking car. Apart from the front end, the rest of the car shares very similar styling to many of the other Imprezas. And overall, for Impreza fans, you will not be disappointed with this car. It's at least as good as any of the other STIs. I wouldn't necessarily build up your hopes by saying that it's better than any of them, but it does at least, at the very least, break even with them. It is as good on any track as any other Impreza, if not better than some of them. The value for money, as we said, is excellent, and as I kind of said at the start of the video, you get everything that you'd expect to be good from an Impreza, and there aren't really any serious downsides. I mean, you can always complain about something, as I said, the looks for some people, but if you're talking pure fact, there's not many downsides to the Impreza as a performance machine, and likewise with the Evo. The Evo's a little bit less beginner friendly, but still, the Evo is a fantastic all-round performance car. The Impreza is a brilliant choice of track machine, and the Prodrive is no exception to that. This car offers a more unique look, and I would say that is the best upside to this particular STi. But that's it for this episode. I'll see you guys next time, and as always, thanks for watching.